The kitchen.
Carrie.
She went to the pitter patter of my little feet coming over. My size 10s coming over to the kitchen. Wes Stepp is back from the Red Sky Cafe in Duck, North Carolina. I'm not going to forget that this morning. Tell us what you're making.
Well, like you said, I went to New Orleans.
Yes.
And so I go down there, and my line of work, I go down to eat, and see what other people are doing, and it's steeped in food and culture down there. So today we're going to do some jalapeno-laced crab cakes. We're doing petite. I'm kind of focusing on catering food, so everything's going to be hors d'oeuvre type. I'm also going to do a little Cajun seared rockfish, and I'm doing a balsamic stung strawberries with a little goat cheese across the top, so it won't be too spicy for you.
Okay, good. All right, we're going to get started in just a second. Alrighty, we're back in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen with Wes Stepp from Red Sky Cafe in Duck, North Carolina, and you're going to assemble like an entire menu today, and you've already got such a beautiful display here. We know you are big on presentation.
I love presentation. I love bold flavors. Like you said, you didn't like too spicy right off the bat, but I don't think any of this is real spicy. What I have over here is some little baby shrimp, and what we're going to do is the jalapeno-laced crab cakes. Now, basically what I did was back fin crab meat. Now, a lot of times brides will be going, you know, we usually use jumbo lump crab meat, okay, which is quite expensive. So one thing that I do at Red Sky is let's say you want the jumbo lump crab cakes and you want filet mignon and you want this. But one thing that we do in my job is to make also the menu fit your budget.
Okay.
So I'm using back fin crab meat today, which is less expensive to me, therefore less expensive to them.
But it tastes the same, doesn't it?
It tastes,
I mean, and in a crab cake, who cares?
Who cares?
I can see if you're serving something and you're putting crab on top and you want everybody to know it's, you know,
it's jumbo
the
lump.
good stuff, but in a crab cake,
it doesn't make a difference, you know. And what I did there is I put a little Creole spice in there. I got a little fresh tomatoes. I got those little baby shrimp. Over here in my Red Sky wine glass, which is another little business card of mine.
That's right.
I'm putting a little heavy cream in there. We want to make sure people know where we're coming from.
I know. People know who you are.
I got a little kosher salt and cracked pepper.
Okay, I feel like I want to shake this pan.
Do it.
But I can't do the whole wrist thing like you, but I can move it back and forth.
You're doing really good. You're shaking it back and forth. And I tell you what, that sauce is almost done. The heavy cream, just a little bit of it, I'm reducing it down. Okay. I'm going to turn it off.
What are we doing with it? Is it going over the crab cake?
Yes. And all I wanted to do was brown these crab cakes. Being that they're small, they're going to cook all the way through. Now, what I would do is, generally, you'd finish them in the oven for just a few minutes, but we aren't going to need to do that.
Not today.
And look how beautiful they are.
They're
already browned on top. What I did was a little bit of breadcrumbs, panko, which is Japanese breadcrumbs. Then I would put it through a food processor with some fresh herbs.
Okay.
Now the jalapenos I diced and I just laced through the crab meat. Now you already mentioned the presentation. What I'm going to serve those on is, you know, my redneck risotto, right?
Yes, grits.
Well, the next day what we did was we made little cakes out of them. And I pan-seared them on a flat iron grill before I got here. Okay, so basically you got redneck risotto cakes going across the top.
And then you're going to stack the crab cake and then
stack the crab cake and put the sauce right on top. Now the sauce, are you scared?
Ahead. I'm not scared. I just don't want to be in your way.
Taste that. It's really tasty. Chefs use their fingers a little bit, I know. We're going to put the crab cake right across the top. And see, it's not spicy whatsoever.
It's not, but very flavorful.
And then what we have is right across, we're going to put a little bit of cream, which is almost like a...
You're always saying that you will come to someone's home and cook?
Yeah, we do these caterings for, you know, for 12 to 250.
What if they don't have a giant mirror in their house?
I bring the giant mirror.
Okay, all right, I'm just checking.
I bring the giant mirror.
Wes's house of mirrors over here.
You got it.
It does look pretty.
And then we go like that. We got the scallion flowers going across the top. Now, basically you got a whole meal, but it's presented almost tapas style. We could almost pass those things, or we could set up a stationary set just like this and just make it so people gravitate directly
towards it. And at that nice little manageable size, you can try more than one thing before, you know.
Exactly. It's one of my best. It's a fun way to eat because you get a little flavors from around the world. Like the 13 different restaurants in Waterside, well, if you could just eat a little something at each one of them, you get all the flavors working, you know, and you don't get bored.
If they don't make it like a big park or something, they call it water slide, right? Clean up the Elizabeth, plunk right in the river.
Right in the river.
That'd be fun. Okay, what are we making next? The rockfish?
We're going to make the rockfish next.
Strawberry.
Balsamic stung strawberries with goat cheese.
All right, a lot to look forward to. Thank you very much. And a reminder, we'll put the information about the Red Sky Cafe, but also how to make the recipes you saw today or where to have Wes make them for you at thehamptonroadshow.com. All right, we're going to make our second dish in just a moment. That's probably something you have to ask your clients about before
Yes,
you
it is.
cater for them or something, if there are any allergies. It's a
They
big
usually
deal.
volunteer the information. Yeah,
And you'll work with them.
definitely.
What if somebody's like, you know, no gluten and things like that? Will you do that too?
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to kind of go over with you on this whole tapas type menu. That basically what I'm doing today is a tapas type menu, especially for a catering or something when you have a large amount of people. A couple reasons this menu is so functional is because not only do you get a lot of different wide variety of flavors, but if you're watching your weight and you don't want a lot of heavy sauces, I use all my sauces on the side. They're in squirt bottles. We're doing a little Rockfish here.
All right.
And-
If you've just tuned in, by the way, this is Chef West Stepp from the Red Sky Cafe in Duck, North Carolina. In the first cooking segment, you whipped up, in a matter of seconds, it seemed like, some crab cakes that you've got on the mirror. I was going to say on the table. Well, it is
Yeah,
a table.
it is a
Already, now
table.
you're working on your Cajun Rockfish because you were just down in New Orleans and came back feeling a little inspired.
Yeah, I just get a little bit of inspiration from, you know, wherever I go. I love the bold flavors. So, but down on the beach, on the Outer Banks, when people get married down there, there's not a whole lot of huge venues like you would in a big city, you know
Right.
what I mean? So it's not like a lot of times it's at beach houses. They'll get married on the beach and they'll go back to the house.
Yeah.
And so a couple of different things about this menu which makes it so functional is one is you don't have to have a place for everybody to sit down like a prime rib and
Right.
cut it. Number two is you're offering a variety of different flavors and different preparations. Like if you're watching your weight, we're doing a grilled asparagus with grilled shiitake mushrooms. Maybe sesame stung. A lot of flavor, but very healthy.
Okay.
If you've got allergies or you're somebody in your party is a vegetarian or whatever, there's always stuff on the side. Everything I use is edible.
They
You
can
know
pick
what I
and
mean?
choose.
So they can
Yeah.
pick and choose, they can, you know, nibble it, and they
Eat
don't
the
get bored
garnish.
with it. Eat the garnish. I did some Caribbean scallops, and these are passed around in these little Thai spoons.
Yep.
I get to decorate the mirror with my sauces. They're all on the side. That's a little wasabi, so if you like to kick it up a notch. Now, with the dietary concerns, we've had people that are gluten-free. What I'll do is I'll make them a whole special plate, because a lot of times they're sort of embarrassed because they're like, here we are, it's our daughter's wedding, and I can't eat this.
Right.
Well, I make them feel really special. You know what I mean? So I'll make them something up in the kitchen. Basically here what we have is the balsamic, which I'm going to use, basically it's balsamic and brown sugar, and I cooked it down and mixed it with the strawberries and a little extra virgin olive oil. Just that simple.
That's it.
A rockfish is already done because I covered the pan.
So that's like an alternative to tomatoes or something.
Exactly, and the strawberries are a little sweet.
Okay.
Look at that fish.
Wow.
You can tell how plump it is, that it's already cooked all the way through, and that's
What did
because I
you-
covered it.
What'd you put on there for seasoning before it went into the pan?
Well, the reason I call it bronze is because basically you take a Cajun spice or a blackening spice, and I put a little bit of sugar in with it because you don't like it too spicy, and we want to cut it a little bit. So it gives it that bronzing effect rather than that blackened.
Okay.
And I'm serving it right over top of the sprouts, which are clover, alfalfa, just something green. It could be anything you like, but it also makes it a light dish. I made plenty of it so the studio audience could try some of this later.
Yay!
I've learned
They're
that.
excited about that. All right, well, we'll be back over to try it too. The strawberries go right on top.
top.
Next time we come back to the kitchen, I'm going to bring my friends. I'm going to give it a try.
Bring them all. Goat
All right.
cheese.
A reminder, Red Sky Cafe is open every day. Lunch, dinner, cocktails, 1197 Duck Road in Duck, North Carolina. You probably want to make a reservation. Visit them online at redskycafe.com or call 252-261-8646. The Red Sky Cafe in Duck, North Carolina. Just a day trip away.